All right, let's get right into it. Today we're talking about one of the absolute biggest challenges for AI, and that's trust. I mean, how can you really be sure that the answers an AI is giving you are, accurate and not just something it completely made up? Well, the secret, as you're about to see, is all about what you feed it.
So let's kick things off with a big question. One you've probably asked yourself. Why is it that these incredibly powerful, sophisticated AIs sometimes just lie? You ask it a simple question and it gives you an answer that sounds super confident, but it's just completely 100% wrong. What's going on there?
Well, this whole AI lying thing, it actually has a technical name. And it's probably the single biggest roadblock holding AI back from being truly useful in the business world. It's called the AI hallucination problem.
So what exactly is a hallucination? It's when an AI just fabricates information out of thin air. It spits out these responses that sound totally plausible, but they have absolutely no basis in the data it was actually given. This right here is the villain of our story. It's the thing that shatters our trust in these tools.
But here's the really important part. The AI isn't doing this on purpose. It's not trying to trick you. The real reason this happens is because of a fundamental limitation. These large language models, or LLMs, they don't have a continuous memory. Their knowledge of the world, and more importantly of your business, just stops dead on the day their training data was finalized. And that creates these massive gaping holes in their knowledge.
So how do we fix this? How do we plug those holes? Well, that's where the hero of our story comes in. Let's talk about RAG, which stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. It's a technique designed specifically to solve this hallucination problem by quite literally grounding AI in reality.
Okay, so here's the official definition. RAG is a method where you give the AI all the necessary knowledge and context from external sources, think of your company's latest reports or internal wikis, before it even tries to generate a response. And that before is the magic word here. The knowledge is provided right then and there, fresh, not from some dusty old training data.
To put it in really simple terms, think of it like this. Using RAG is like giving an AI an open book test. But it's even better than that. It's like you find the exact pages in the textbook that have the answers, you hand them to the AI, and then you ask the question. It doesn't have to guess or try to remember anything, it just has to read.
So how does this actually play out? Let's walk through the steps. It's pretty straightforward. First, you ask a question. Second, the system instantly goes and retrieves the most relevant documents from your knowledge base. Third, and this is key, it bundles your original question together with those documents it just found. And finally, it sends that whole package to the LLM to generate an answer that is grounded only in the facts it was just provided.
And the difference this makes is just night and day. On one hand, you have an AI without RAG. It's basically guessing, relying on old, generic data, which makes it totally untrustworthy. But on the other hand, an AI with RAG is grounded in your specific, up-to-the-minute data. It becomes a reliable partner that can even show you its work by citing its sources.
Okay, but how can we be sure that RAG is actually working the way it should? This isn't just magic or guesswork. Its success is totally measurable, and the main way we track it is with something called the groundedness score.
So groundedness is basically our report card for the AI. It's a metric that measures one simple thing. How faithful was the AI's answer to the documents we gave it? A high score means the AI stuck to the script. A low score, well, that means it started making things up again.
And when you look at the numbers, you see just how critical this is. A really well-tuned RAG system can hit a groundedness score of 95% or even higher. But look what happens if the retrieval part is weak, if it pulls the wrong documents. That score can totally plummet, down to 40% or even less. It proves that the quality of what you retrieve is absolutely everything.
And that's why a low groundedness score is so useful. It's not just a failing grade, it's a diagnostic tool. It tells you exactly where your problem is. It's a big red flag saying, hey, your retrieval system isn't finding the right info to give to the AI. Okay, so that's all the theory. Let's see how this actually works in the real world. And a fantastic example of RAG in action is a system from Microsoft called Foundry IQ.
So what is this thing? Well, Foundry IQ is basically an enterprise-level RAG system. It brings all of your company's knowledge into one central place, it uses incredibly powerful search tech to find the right info, and, this is a huge deal for any business, it completely respects all your existing data security and user permissions.
And we're not just talking about one kind of data.
This system allows your AI agent to securely tap into everything. We're talking regular files, everything in Microsoft 365, data from analytics platforms like Fabric IQ, and even the public internet. It brings all of that context together just to answer a single question accurately.
So let's bring all this back home. We've gone through hallucinations, RAG, groundedness. So why does any of this really matter to you, to anyone who's trying to actually build and use AI that works?
It really boils down to this one single powerful idea. This quote from the source material just says it all perfectly. The agent's quality is directly tied to the quality of information retrieved. In other words, your AI can never, ever be smarter than the data you give it. That is the fundamental law of trustworthy AI. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this final thought. Your AI is only as smart as the fuel you put in its tank. RAG is the system that delivers that high-quality, high-octane fuel. So the real question you have to ask yourself is, what are you feeding your AI?